Now, Johnny, we're going to cook trout, and we're going to cook zucchini, and we're going to cook cucumbers, and we're going to make an aioli sauce, which is mayonnaise and garlic. Now, do you mind it with the head on and the tail on?
I'd never like to eat anything that's looking at me.
You don't? Well, then, would you mind cutting...
That's Vincent Price on The Johnny Carson Show in November 1975. After the tremendous success of his cookbook, A Treasury of Great Recipes, the film star was cast in yet another role, the celebrity chef.
Now, you put this in the oven? You don't put it in the oven.
No, you don't.
Now,
and I'll tell you what you do put it in. The dishwasher.
Why do you use the dishwasher? Just to,
Because it steams and it heats, and fish is one of the few things. You couldn't do, meat or anything like that in it.
So
but fish cooks in only a very short time, and it really is kind of beautiful. Look at how beautiful that is.
Now, look at that.
Huh?
I'm going to try a little bit of this.
It's wonderful, and then you just put the dishes back into the thing and wash the dishes. You see, and the whole thing is a beautiful cycle.
That's incredible. And it's gorgeous. I wish you could all taste this.
Mr. Price's appearance on the iconic nighttime talk show displayed the actor's passion for another art, the art of cooking. Years earlier, when Vincent sat down to write his gastronomic how-to guide with his wife, Mary Grant, the couple never dreamed it would receive such a warm reception. Called one of the 100 most important culinary events of the 20th century by Saveur magazine, A Treasury of Great Recipes still ranks as among the most popular out-of-print cookbooks on the market today. The same cannot be said for my no-holds-barred look at the dark world of the comfort food industry in the documentary adaptation of my book, Hedonic Hunger, a 3-part expose that will make you swear off ice cream, French fries, and potato chips forever. The work was shortlisted for several major awards, but was overshadowed by Netflix's release of the Alex Gibney series Cooked, which, if you ask me, was an unremarkable adaptation of the unexceptional Michael Pollan book of the same name. Now, Michael teaches at Harvard, and I'm doing this, which is fine. I'm not complaining. If I were Michael J. Fox's brother-in-law, the shoe would be on the other foot. But I'm veering off script again. The master of the macabre wasn't the first of his line to write a best-selling cookbook. His grandfather, Vincent Clarence Price, also excelled in the culinary arena. Not only was V.C. Price the first person to patent extracts of vanilla, lemon, and other flavorings, he was also the inventor of cream of tartar baking powder and the author of a best-selling series of cookbooks in the early 1900s. That's why I say that cooking was in Vincent's blood. But the King of Horror never dreamed that the educational food and travel docuseries he agreed to host in 1964 would be the bloodiest production of his life. Hello, good listeners, and welcome to Deadliest Meal. I'm author, documentarian, and film historian Denise Didak, and you're listening to a new podcast about the most cursed TV show ever produced. A cooking program that was so blighted, bedeviled, and deadly that the studio behind the project tried to bury it forever. For the past 10 years, I've been documenting what happened to Vincent Price in the summer of 1964, and over the course of this podcast, the world will finally come to know the real story of the Prince of Terror in an effort to save this American cultural treasure from the dustbin of history. In our third chapter, A Rome with a View, Vincent and company entertain the charming Italian actress Sophia Loren in the Eternal City, where events again conspire against Mr. Price and his crew, strengthening the actor's belief in the occult.
The third port of call in our culinary odyssey is the mother of antiquity, the birthplace of Christianity, and one of my favorite places in the world ever since my first visit at the tender age of 17. The Eternal City, Rome. Italy is surely one of the most beautiful countries in the world, a place where every vista is a feast for the eye. For the next half hour, we'll explore the incredible historic and gastronomic legacy of this Mediterranean jewel.
Hold for the plane.
Carl, if I may interject, shouldn't we start at the Trevi Fountain or St. Peter's Basilica? You know, something with a bit more beauty and gravitas.
Via Veneto is a symbol of New Rome, Vincent. Of modernity, Vincent.
Plane's gone, y'all. We're clear.
3, 2. Rome has stood as one of the centers of Europe for more than 2,500 years since its legendary founding in 753 BC. But not all is ancient history in Rome. Today, Rome is regarded as...
Sorry, Mr. Price, are we sure about this street music? It's coming in pretty hot in McCann's.
Yes, Eddie has a point. Shouldn't we find a quieter spot or perhaps pay the musicians to rap early?
I've got the best sound mixer in the biz, Vincent.
No way anyone can mix out that, Mr. Price.
Stay in your lane, Ed. Let's take it from today, Rome is regarded as.
Today, Rome is regarded as one of the most fashionable cities on earth. A remarkable phenomenon considering that up until a few years ago, the Italian capital was still very much in ruins. Its rapid recovery was fueled in part by a booming film industry. Via Veneto is its very life's blood. Known for its assortment of trendy bars, restaurants, and nightclubs, the neighborhood attracts many of the world's most famous entertainers and peskiest gossip mongers. In fact, you'll probably recognize the scene behind me from one of the tabloids your local grocer keeps by the register next to the Astropops, Black Licorice, and Lemon Heads.
Less ad-libbing, Vincent. Stay on script.
On any given day here, royalty like Prince Rainier, the Aga Khan, or King Farouk might bump into entertainment royalty like Bardot, Sinatra, or Mastriani. The neighborhood celebrity culture was recently dramatized by one of my favorite new film director, Federico Fellini, in his wonderful movie, La Dolce Vita.
Mr. Price, how long have you been in Italy?
This is another reason why I didn't want to film here, Carl. The paparazzi.
What are you filming today, Mr. Price? A new horror movie set in the Via Veneto?
No, it's nothing frightful this time. It's a new television program that's part travel, part cooking, and part... perhaps I should let the producer explain.
Mr. Price,
his name's Carl Rothmanson.
Where is your wife?
Carl, the press would like a word. Carl, these gentlemen are interested in the show. Can you sell it to them? He just waved me off.
Maybe he didn't hear you.
I wonder who that is he's talking to, Eddie.
Whoever it is must be pretty important from the looks of it, Mr. Price.
He's awfully severe looking, isn't he? Cast your boom pole in that direction and see if you can pick any of it up.
Sounds like they're talking German.
Let me have one of those cans, Eddie. I studied a little German at Yale, but I can't make much out over the photographer's din. We've got to distract these hyenas so we can hear what the devil Rothmanson is banging on about. Think. Is that Oscar winner Julie Andrews?
Miss Andrews? Mrs. Andrews? Where?
She just got in that cab. Hurry up, and you might catch her.
Nice head fake, Mr. Price.
Can you get in any closer with the boom mic, Eddie? My hearing isn't what it used to be.
Oops.
Are you trying to eavesdrop on a private conversation?
No, sir. I was just catching some ambient sound for editing. Didn't see you there.
And I will not see you there any longer. You're dead, Ed.
You're firing me?
Effective immediately.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
We're done for the day. Something's come up, I'm afraid. Taxi!
That was a speedy exit.
Gosh, Mr. Price, I really need this job. My wife's expecting. Can you talk to Mr. Rotmanson?
I can and will, but there may not be much I can do as the talent. Carl is the producer. Although from the sound of the conversation, he may have another role entirely. Eddie, I need your help.
I'm at your service, Mr. Price.
I may have just found the source of our curse. Can you stick with our producer, Mr. Rotmanson, for a while? I need you to find out what he's up to. We'll be at the Colosseum tomorrow. Meet me there. And Eddie, be careful.
Campo dei Fiori. Take one.
Rolling.
Are we speeding? Hello? Dario?
Speeding.
Are you recording? Did you push the red button?
See.
Now float the microphone closer to Mr. Price.
Watch where you're swinging that boom.
It's gonna be a long day.
Who is this greenhorn, Carl?
Dario will be our new sound guy moving forward.
I still don't understand why you fired Eddie.
It's going to be fine, Vincent. Everything is going according to plan. And action!
I'm standing in what's probably the oldest food market of Rome, Campo dei Fiori. Since 1869, on every morning except Sunday, folks have been coming to the Campo dei Fiori for the market's wide selection of fruit, vegetables, meat, poultry, and fresh fish. Closer to the fountain, you'll find many of the finest florists in Rome, because you can't have a world-class Italian meal without a fabulous centerpiece. In the center of the square, a statue by 19th century sculptor Ettio Ferrari reminds us of the market's darker history, which is exemplified by the tragic story of the friar Giordano Bruno. On the 17th of February in the year 1600, the Italian philosopher was burnt alive in an act of religious barbarism that immortalized him as the first martyr for science. But of course, the Catholic Church is not the only institution with blood on its hands. The Italian government was guilty of many deaths, especially when it was run by one Benito Mussolini.
That's not on the card, Vincent.
No, just a bit of my own research into the subject. I knew that if you did not object to the executions performed hundreds of years ago, you could not object to the ones from a few decades ago.
That would be fine, Vincent, but we just don't have time to rehash outdated anti-fascist rhetoric.
This isn't outdated. Il Duce's fingerprints are everywhere. He commissioned many of the buildings around us, including Cinecittà Studios, the largest film studio in Europe.
And next, I suppose you're going to point out that he founded the Venice Film Festival, so we should boycott that too. Yeah?
Next, I was going to point out that the sister of my lovely co-host today is marrying Mussolini's youngest son in a ceremony this summer. So you see, the past is all around us.
Romano's a pianist, not a fascist.
Families were torn apart by the terror of the black shirts after they marched on Rome and usurped power.
The king handed power to Mussolini. It was all done legally per the Italian constitution.
When a mob of 25,000 fascists is heading your way, that tends to taint the decision-making process.
We do not have time for all of these stories, and even if we did, the network would never agree to this line of tourism. Now, let's go to the Colosseum. Your lovely co-host should be there by now, and it wouldn't be wise to keep the future in-law of El Duce waiting. Colosseum. Take one.
One of the happiest times I ever spent in Rome was on a quick visit I made with my wife Mary one December not too many years ago. I suppose you could dine in Rome for 1,001 nights without exhausting the marvelous restaurants here. But on that crisp December night, Mary and I craved just good old-fashioned Italian cooking. And so we ordered spaghetti with meat sauce of all things. And it was fabulous, as only Italian pasta can be. Today I'll be adapting that recipe for the American kitchen so you can enjoy a fine Italian feast from the comforts of your own home. So tie on your apron and pour a glass of vino rosso, because we're in one of my favorite places to make one of my favorite dishes. Our special guest this evening needs no introduction. A household name in any country and wonderful actress whose new picture, Marriage Italian Style, is due out later this fall. Tonight, Miss Sophia Loren will be putting her spin on this classic by showing us how to make pasta Italian style.
Italian pasta is redundant, Vincent. I expect more from you.
My apologies, Miss Loren. I was merely making a play on words.
And please, call me Sophia. There's no need to be formal in an Italian kitchen, Vincent.
As you wish, but it feels wrong to address such cinematic royalty by her Christian name.
But you're so far away. Come closer, Vincent. It feels wrong to be so, how do you say, so distant to someone I'm cooking with. Aloofness is antithesis to the soul of cucina italiana.
I agree. Cooking is all about how you feel, as well as following careful instructions.
Always the chameleon, aren't you? Well, if you need to measure, be my guest. But Italians cook with their soul, and that cannot be measured.
Yes, but butter can. Shall we get the sauce started, Sophia?
Be careful with that microphone. You will set it on fire.
Do not try to tell me my job.
Well, you might want to try holding the mic right side up, and it's all over the screen.
I don't need putana actors telling me what to do.
Stronzo.
Potiti.
Just hold the mic steady, Dario, so we can get on with this. Vincent?
Yes, of course. In a heavy skillet, heat 2 tablespoons butter and 2 tablespoons olive oil. Add 1 onion, finely chopped. Add 3 rashers lean bacon, cut into small pieces. Saute over medium heat until lightly browned.
Or you can chop an onion and saute it in whatever oil you have around and add some porchetta and vegetables until they look done.
Add 2 chicken livers, minced, plus 1/2 pound of beef, coarsely ground. and stir until meat is coated with fat and browned evenly.
Throw in some ground beef and chicken parts and cook till done.
Season with salt, freshly ground pepper, lemon zest, and 1 clove of garlic crushed. Then cover and simmer for 40 minutes, stirring occasionally. As you can see, Sophia's boiling our pasta.
To keep the water from boiling over, rub a little olive oil or butter around the sides of the pot above the waterline.
That will save you some serious time on the cleanup. Thank you, Sophia. If you are using packaged spaghetti, cook for about 12 minutes or according to directions on the package.
Never break them. Never ever break them. Stir with a wood spoon occasionally.
It should be soft but firm when you bite it. The Italians call this al dente, or to the tooth.
Homemade pasta needs less time to cook. Test till done.
Drain the cooked spaghetti in a colander, or if you prefer, you can try this on conchiglie, little shells sometimes.
Conchiglie.
Conchiglie. Because of their shape, they hold more of the sauce, and you might prefer it that way. I know my little one Vicky does.
Yes, you cook the sauce, boil the pasta, and mangia.
Shall we call this the Italian translation?
We call it cooking, and it makes for a delicious meal. Will you join me?
I can't say no.
No, you can't. But wait, I almost forgot.
As you can see, Sophia is applying a liberal sprinkling of fresh basil. One of the hallmarks of Italian cooking is, of course, herbs. The other is cheese.
A good meal engages all the senses. Let's not forget flavor.
Grated Parmesan is sprinkled on Italian food almost as universally as salt and pepper, and with much more interesting results.
Try a sip of this.
Where did you find this magic elixir?
After the war, my grandma, Luisa, opened how do you say, not a taverna?
Speakeasy?
Yes. She sold this homemade cherry liquor. My mom played the piano, my sister Maria sang, and I waited on tables and washed dishes and learned the family secrets.
Your sister Maria. I read of her engagement in the New York Times. Will you be RSVPing?
Of all the musicians in Rome, she falls in love with a Mussolini. I'm beside myself, Vincent. But let's discuss less emotional topics. Please, tell me what you think of Italy.
I have many memories of this great land, where at every turn it seems there's a new story to learn.
Rome is a city of ghosts and curses with so many people and gods in its history. They're like the layers of the Colosseum itself.
The Colosseum is a cursed place to me. Its very stones are bathed in blood and suffering and torment from the souls of the staggering number of men who were sacrificed within these walls in the relentless pursuit of entertainment.
From the old ones, I've heard tales of an Andabatea gladiator who haunts the Colosseum to this day, cutting down those unfortunate enough to cross his path with his ghost blade.
There are also all the horrors that the city suffered so recently, during and after the war. But when all is said and done, I believe the good far outweighs the bad. On a personal note, Mary found what I still consider to be the finest Christmas present I've ever received in Rome. An ancient black piece of Etruscan pottery that she concealed in a hat box for the remainder of our trip. Mary is a remarkable woman, is she not?
And quite a clever art smuggler, too.
It was rather daring of her, but it was completely legal, even if it is a cultural treasure. Funny you should say that today, though, because earlier I was accused of smuggling when a customs agent thought that our replica of the Road to Tarascon by Van Gogh was in fact the original that was lost in the war.
I'm sorry to say this, but there are many who would pay much for that and other lost paintings, even with the stink of fascism on them.
Are you quite done? Because we need to go. Shooting in this relic isn't cheap, and our time here is up. I'm so sorry, Miss Loren, but we must depart.
I'm off to the Odeon for a premiere. Lovely meeting you, Vincent. Ciao.
Carl, the crew can leave, but I was hoping you would stay and walk with me in this ancient and beautiful place for a while. There are some matters I hope to discuss with you. Belladonna means beautiful lady, and it is an apt description of both the city of Rome and my co-host on this episode. Sophia is one of the classic beauties of this or any age, and you know she can cook too. But enough chauvinism. Today, they found our sound man Eddie floating in the Tiber with the weapon that killed him still stuck in his back. To replace Eddie, Carl found a brute of a man named Dario with a low forehead. The sound on our shoot today was an unprofessional mess. I hope a good editor can do something with it, but I'm afraid it might be beyond the skills of a mere mortal. At the Colosseum, I asked Mr. Rothmanson about the Van Gogh I saw in Paris, which the customs man said was not a replica, but was actually very much real. Carl claimed to have no idea what I was talking about, which is highly unusual. After working for DeMille and Primager, I know that any producer with his salt should be keenly aware of everything on their set. When I asked Carl whether he understood how many responsibilities were on his shoulders, Mr. Rothmanson responded with a cryptic, "More than you know." I then interceded on behalf of our poor Eddie and begged for his job. In answer, Carl said that his troubles were over. When I asked him to explain, he pointed to a spot in the arena where the gladiators were traditionally slain and said, "If you listen hard enough, you can still hear the death screams of the warriors who are reported to haunt the Colosseum to this day." That was the moment I learned that our poor soundman Eddie had been killed. The policeman who informed us said that the weapon was a gladius, the very same weapon that was used to slay scores of poor slaves in the gladiator spectacles of yore. An eerier coincidence there could hardly be, but was it a coincidence at all?
Months after the filming of this show, Italy dodged a political catastrophe when a fascist coup d'etat went off the rails in August 1964. The so-called Piano Solo was masterminded by the head of the country's paramilitary police and called for the arrest of hundreds of politicians, the seizure of Communist Party headquarters, and the takeover of leftist newspaper offices. As for Ms. Loren, despite her reluctance, she dutifully attended her sister Maria's marriage to jazz pianist Romano Mussolini, the youngest son of Il Duce. Their daughter, Sophia's niece, Rachele Mussolini, carries on the family's political legacy on the Rome City Council today, where she serves as a member of the far-right Brothers of Italy party. As for Mr. Price, we can almost feel the sadness in his voice in the audio diary he recorded in Italy. Alone in his hotel room, Vincent blames the city of Rome itself for the latest death of his crew on his production. The moment shows Vincent falling deeper and deeper into the idea that the curse of the show is preordained and that there is no way out for the actor. But what did happen to Eddie the Sound Man? There were dangerous parts of Rome at this time, and although a gladius is an unusual weapon even for back then, the popularity of gladiator and mythical musclemen movies known as peplums may have inspired a deranged soul to take up ancient arms for common thievery. Before we go, I have a letter from a listener that I'd like to share. Kim D. from Stanton, Ohio says, "I think Carl is a fascist spy who was trying to raise a neo-fascist Reich." Oh my. There were many theories at this time that high-ranking German military or civil leaders with a fanatic love for the Führer were trying to complete his work at this time, but it's a crackpot conspiracy that can be filed next to the one where they saved Hitler's brain. As an academic, I have to consider all possibilities, but I will consider the possibility of ghosts, ghouls, and curses before this obviously red herring. Thank you for your thoughts, Kim. And thank you all for listening to Deadliest Meal. Please join us next time as things heat up in the desert of Morocco. I'm Denise Didak. Thank you, and good night.
Deadliest Meal was created and written by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb. Directed by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb. Editing by Rory Owen Delaney.
Produced by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb.
Sound design, sound mix, and music by Apostolos Papapastoiou. Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor performed by Stephen Malinowski.
With performances by Wendy Weiner, Matt Babb, Mike Casantini, Silvia Bettini, Aurelian Vercel, Byron Sierra Matos, Craig Jablin, and Rory Owen Delaney.
This podcast is a production of Man Bites Dog Films, LLC.